Well, hello guys and gals. Welcome to Murder Friday. Hope you all had a great day or will be having a great day. Let's see. No new stuff, right? It's the 22nd. And yeah, this is 25th, so that's Monday. Hey Phoenix, welcome. So yeah, let's see, no new features yet, so nope. So yeah, let's go and search contracts for my friends. Let's see. Hey Abai, hope you're having a good day. Thank you. I hope you're having a fantastic day yourself. Happy Friday. You have a contract? Okay, let's come. Let's see it. Look up. Okay. Let's see. 11230620969. Destination. Destination unknown. Wherever you run, wherever you hide, I will find you and take you in. I'll find you and take you into its deadly embrace. Okay. I have no idea where these people are. Who the fuck is he? Yeah, Amaranto Benitez Godoy, but no pacifications, and there must be falling objects. Electrocution, explosion, fire. Let me see. Tools. This is my fire. Tools. Electrocution. Explosive accident. Okay, I can shoot that. Fire, electrocution, falling objects. Okay. Okay, let's just go and see where we end up. Falling object. Well, at least I know where the... Is she the lady near the gas station? With the dude that's like tinkering stuff just before the bridge? Esperance. Oh, they're all here. Okay. Well, at least 3 of them. You're a fall. You're a fire. You're an explosion.
I'm gonna take the tourists down the bumpy road and watch all their spur change fall out. I would have.
Oh, if these will come out. Oh, he will come out. Okay. I could get him here if I can get him to come over, and I can get her with the propane tank because she smokes here.
Hey, get away from me.
Okay, but I do have to be in the right order. There's a propane tank right there I could use.
No problem.
Why are you sending your old lady, man? What the hell is this? Oh, that's my oil canister.
There's nothing here.
It's
Nothing.
put it right here. Ah, they didn't hear. Now, lady, you're busy.
Solid and check that out. Will you?
Calma, calma, calma. Easy, boy. Easy. Okay.
Good. Okay, so that's how I can get him.
What's the fuss about? There's nothing here. No way. Who's breaking the stuff?
Wait till the fire dies down. Let me see. Okay. Because she goes here to smoke.
Please, someone help me.
There we go. Okay. Now I gotta get her here.
Hey, you got to help us, please.
I think I need something else, but okay. Let me see. Let's scope out the other ones. What's their problem? Let them sort it out on their own for now. Let me see. You are a falling object. You are the electrocution. Okay.
What?
Excuse me, sir. I think that's yours.
Okay, I know it's dangerous, but I think I'll be okay up there.
Oh, that's not a.
Oh, great.
I thought it was a puddle. This is just.
You are right in my personal space right now.
Guarida, did you hear that? There was just a huge explosion.
Did you do this?
Oh my god, get help!
I gotta get her here or here. Right? This is a. Is this a puddle or no? No, that's mud. Hmm. Do I really need to get her here?
Ayúdame. I need help. Someone, please help me.
He's a falling object.
Haven't found shit yet.
I'll let you know. You responsible for this mess?
Search the area.
Yeah, you, Mr. Kitty. Look at me.
Yeah. I want to experiment, dude. Give me a break. I'm trying to figure stuff out here. Where the fuck does she go? All the way over there.
Hey, we need some help here. Please get some.
Oh, he did clean that up. Okay.
Someone is causing trouble. Okay, I'll deal with it now. All right. Get someone clean up this. Okay.
What's going on?
Yoink. Hey, Cheddar, welcome. That's, yeah, it doesn't work there. You're correct. Okay, let me see. So this is all not wet enough. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, you know who I am? Hey, dude.
This is crazy. I don't know what to do. Help me.
Falling object. Oh, this?
Man over there with no clothes on. Okay, I look into it.
Okay, so he is here.
Get the hell out of here.
And then she, I think I can lure her here. This. Okay. So that means I don't really need this. There's something else I can use. What's more useful? Let's see, she's got a fall. Where the hell is she? Oh wait, she is inside. Okay. So her and him are close by. And then she's got to be electrocuted in the kitchen basically. And I gotta drop the planter on his head. Okay. So I think instead of this I'll take some coins. Or the where is the money thing? I'm sure the blue casino. Oh, you only get that when you get the bundle. Okay. Rub some soap on the hippie. Looks like salt on a snail. Really, I see a phone. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, good one, good one. That's tools? Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, get the coin from over here. You have to really look down.
Believe it, backpackers will love it when they see this 3 wheel get at the end of the hill. Okay.
You should check that out, don't you think?
Oh, now he doesn't send his why. But the second I do this, he will.
Well, there's nothing here, okay?
See? Why?
No problem.
No, lady.
Hombre, cuidado.
Huh? Okay. Senor, be a kind soul and find a nearby fund.
You! Fuck off!
What was that? Gee, look at this. What about? Okay.
Really, dude? What the fuck?
Cojones, I'm not in the mood for this.
No, me either. What the fuck, man? You get the. You fuck off.
Anybody there? ¿Hay alguien por ahí? ¿Quién está ahí?
Oh my god, lady, will you fuck off?
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, 3 minutes to get to this point. Okay, let them simmer. Let them cool down. So, okay, now these two. She is electrocution. But this looks like a puddle, but no, it doesn't. If I do it here, he will come out. Let's see. Oh, somebody at the door. Give me a second. Hey, sorry about that. It was a delivery for the neighbors, so there's a chance they will ring the bell later this afternoon. But good. Okay, so
Now things are exploding.
So, about the safari park. Do you think I'll be able to see baby pandas, or are they mostly kept out of sight?
she went back that way. Oh my god. Oh, well, maybe I can get him over here. Works twofold, right?
Ay, no.
Yeah, forget about that. Get over here. Oh my god. Lady does like a gun, for example. He's not a gentleman. What? Oh, now she's outside. Now she's going inside. Okay.
I'm just taking out the trash.
Let me tell you, senor. Most fun you're going to use a trash can. See, I take great pride in that. I will also
Whoa, 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 whoa. Get over here.
Okay.
That's my.
Okay. Damn.
So there you go. Thank you,
Fuck me.
Esta cosa está rota. Está mala. It's a waste of my time. That's what it is. Useless.
Okay.
And there's nothing else I can drop. So this is the thing I need to drop on him. It's just
Who will break this?
getting to the right.
Respect for other people's property anymore.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. That's definitely.
Oh my god. My god. I don't even hear it go off. Oh, he sends her. Right. Can I do this?
Sorry, I've got no idea what that could have been.
Now he comes. Oh my god. The fuck, man.
This is exactly what I need.
Go fuck himself.
Ah, shit.
Well, might as well go to the deep end. Oh, they have guacamole. That's great.
Good on you, hombre.
Rightio.
Seriously, man. What the fuck?
Excuse me. Oh yeah. Jesus Christ.
This is... what kind of bullshit is this?
See, whatever. As soon as I'm done here and she's ready to hit the road, the money will be rolling in. I just need to find a chauffeur who's dumped me, who's lucky enough to get the opportunity.
And he's coming, right?
Go and see what that was.
Oh.
Understood. Weird.
Shardy_waffles_ just redeemed.
Weird, weird, yeah. It is weird. It's annoying, that's what it is. Is there any puddle? What does he have?
Madre de Dios, this looks like a terrible accident.
What happens if I put this thing over here and I...
Ayúdame.
Nothing. Coin. No. Oh, Dios mío.
How may I help you today, senor? Por favor, don't use the back door, sir. For employees only.
Hey, Guarida, there has been a nasty accident.
¿Viste? Have a look at that.
Okay, Alejandro, tell me the truth, Rico. Was that you?
Man, it's my first contract of the day and oh, this is seriously annoying.
Madre de Dios.
No way! Someone, por favor! Help me! Oh shoot!
Oh, weird. Is anyone still paying to see her? Weird, weird. Lady, can you go over here? Oh, good God. You didn't see that.
I know my last idea didn't pan out, but this beauty will. It's slower than a taxi, much more uncomfortable, and not as safe.
Cool.
Go and see what that was.
Yeah, lady, go and see what that was.
Okay.
Glue. Okay. Now, while they are getting everything in order, let's try this, figure this one out. If I just do it here, the dude will come, right? Yeah, they don't. They won't come.
Yes.
And I need her to electrocute. So, is there anything in here I can use? No. And if I flood this, he will come. So he is annoying in that in that way.
Excellent.
What? 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 And then you can get fucked. God damn it. A puddle. There's no puddle there, Shardy. It's only mud. I tried that. My hitman isn't hitmanning today. God damn it.
Smart investment. You know how I know that?
Why is it so fiddly to get the people to go where you want them to go?
Do me a solid and check that out. Will you?
No worries.
Okay. But getting him to burn is not the problem. That's her smoking habit. Now. I'm almost thinking I need to use a durian to get him out of here so I can lure her over. I don't really want to resort to like that kind of stuff. Let's get you out of here for a bit. Whoa, lady. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not so fast. Okay.
I need help. Please, somebody help me.
You could put the emetic in the smuggled item. Yeah, I know. But I don't really want to resort to that. Like, and the problem is these guys. Oh, where the fuck's my coin?
I know you said it was called symphoria and...
Hey, are you there? Muy bien. There's a maldito criminal out there.
There's a maldito criminal out there. Need something to lure somebody.
Hey.
Why is everyone freaking out?
Who is hey-ing me? Oh, you.
Go and see what that was. Come on. For sure.
Fucker!
That was exciting. I got a big nothing here.
Got it. What a waste.
Why are you not interested?
Yep.
Oh my god! Can you fuck off, please?
No, can see anything. Yeah, cool.
Okay, he's fucked off. Are you shitting me?
He's dead. Okay, you take it.
No, 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 no. Fuck's sake, man. Why?
Alright.
That really scared me.
What the hell
This
that
poor soul looks like
Finally, okay. Hey, why isn't the lady exploded yet? Oh, because it bounced here. Okay.
Por favor, don't use the back door, sir. It's for employees only. Gracias.
Interesante.
Okay, you go smoke there. Let's see her fly. Whee! Okay, so now all we have to do is make her fall. So I want to lure her here and push her over. That should be possible, right?
Hello there.
Let's get out of here before they recognize me. Hey Panda, welcome. On the second floor of the house with a toilet, there are 2 coins. House next to the hostel. Oh yeah.
What's that, command? Okay, continuing search.
Okay. Well, hopefully I don't need it anymore. Can you guys please go away? Thank you. Let's see if she comes.
Excuse me?
See what the hell that was.
Fine. Got it. Damn. Cool.
Really? I can't even make her fall with this?
Senor, I feel you're violating my personal space here. Oh, crap. Is that those bloody idiots messing around again?
There we go. That was way too much work. Man. But guess she has a really long reach to get the phone from the edge, right? Good God, man. Thank you. So, yeah, I was gonna say I have everything right? Okay, almost 10 minutes. Let's look at the cheater boards. Probably number one did it in 2 minutes 15. 104. How even? Even Phoenix himself did it in 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Oh well, they probably have some distraction stuff going on. Somehow, some way. It's cool. Okay, let's see what's going on here. There's a list of contract IDs, of course, so I can pick one from there. Lil Weenie, my first proper contact. Platform Steam. Yeah, that's not... I can't do that. Let's see... No, I'm not gonna do Drago. Jack and Paint. Hitman Brawl Stars collaboration. Okay. Let's see. Game mode, contracts, and look up. I'm missing a... Man. Doesn't like it when I enter it like this. 451. There we go. Yeah. Play. Okay, let's see. Ooh, New York. Hello 47. Today we have a collaboration with the popular mobile game Brawl Stars. Your targets for elimination: Mosquito Sharpshooter Angelo, Shy Emo Boy Edgar, and also DJ Frank named Frank. DJ Frankenstein named Frank. On your side, the beautiful Sniper Piper, beautiful Cowboy with a shotgun Shelly, and also the Grandfather Miner with Dynamite called Dynamite. It turns out to be a very interesting 3 versus 3 game. Okay. Sniper rifle, okay. Sniper rifle. Oh, I just have, for some reason I have a sniper rifle on me. Shotgun. I'm guessing he is... and we have Frank. An explosion accident. Okay, so there's a propane tank entry left, which I can get. Shotgun. Can I smuggle a shotgun? Oh, the... Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Mace. Welcome.
You gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty in here. It's time to get swifty.
Let's put one there, just in case. Oh, I can't put a shotgun there. Welcome, Mace. Happy Friday. Let me see. So I can... That's a bit of annoying because this is a stash and not a pickup. Why are all the pickups somewhere it's difficult to get to? Explosion accident. Yes, so I'm not in the neighborhood when he does that, or Yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. Okay. Figure it out. I'll get a shotgun somewhere. Hey Frank, how you doing?
Sorry, sir. No one's turned it in.
Oh, crap. You dropped something.
Bye bye Frank. Whee!
Everyone okay?
Okay, so he's down there. Oh, be careful of the... Where's the other one? One's down there.
Come on, come in, you copy? Yeah, I'm here now.
Where's the other one? Yeah, he's down below. Loading bay. Oh! In that case...
No, nothing. It's quiet here.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna start here. But then then this is a problem. But I can run up here. Basically. Executive floor. Is that is where... Oh, I know where this is. Yeah, okay. Sniper. Okay. So I don't need this. Yeah, I guess I'll take a coin. No. I'll take a sleeping agent. Let's see, do I have sleeping pills? Sedative pills, there we go. Right. Okay. Oh, is that next to... that's the top floor. Oh, I thought that was the... and you go up the stairs. I thought it was here. Level 0, if you go up the stairs here. And then... Here, I thought it would be here. Because this is the director's office. Oh, right, it's over here. Yeah, okay. So that's no good. Replan. That's way too far up. That's not good. Okay, so... Pickup. So I'll put it here. Oh, there's a pickup right here. You idiot. There we go. Here it is. Oh, he's here. He's the shotgun. Okay. You're the sniper rifle, okay. There should be a shotgun right here somewhere. There we go. Oh. Sniper. Let's get him out of here before the other dudes finds him in here. Oh, over here. I don't need this anymore. Let's change clothes just in case. Where's the shotgun? Oh, over here. Should give me the shotgun. Yeah, I know. I'm slow. Doesn't really matter.
No!
Surprise, motherfucker.
Man, please acknowledge. Come in, command. Somebody's blasting away.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I should have closed the door. And even then he might not hear it. He might hear it. Why do you start glue to the car?
What the hell? I do not like that noise. See what's going on. 10-4. There. It's just stupid hot down here today.
Those exhaust fumes are just horrible. I know. Who the hell does... Hey there. Guard. Run!
That perfect game! Command!
Come and get me! Oh, boy. Man!
That was a bold attempt, 47.
Shardy_waffles_ just redeemed bold attempt.
That was a bold attempt, 47. Yes.
You want to have a look? No worries. What's that noise? Probably nothing, but go check it out anyway. Yeah. Hello?
Get wrecked. Okay, so this is easier when I just make him go to sleep. Okay, so put him here. Bloop. Get the sniper rifle.
How unfortunate.
There we go.
In fact, your final payment.
Shardy_waffles_ just redeemed. How unfortunate.
Oh, this is all the way over here. Shouldn't be able to hear that, right? Boom. Right, okay. And now Frank.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Shardy_waffles_ just redeemed. Oh no.
There look at this.
What?
I'm really sorry, but we've had
You there, Command?
off this area for now.
Yeah, it looks like an accident. This one is going in the ground.
Am I busted because he sees them?
Again, I'm really sorry, but Perez keeps coming down here.
Why did I lose SA? Because they... Why did I lose SA? Did I lose it because I opened the door? Or did I lose it because of another reason? That was weird. Weird, weird, weird. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, really? Okay. I guess we don't do the sedative then.
Oh shit. Hey, go check out that racket.
Understood.
Anyone there? Answer.
The stupid camera. Oh, yeah, it's because he saw me. Doesn't really matter. If I clear the cameras, then it should be okay, right? Bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum 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 ba 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 ba.
Stupid hot down here today.
Oh, it's because he still, yeah, he saw
Who
me.
decides to put an AC unit in a basement garage? Someone who doesn't work here anymore. I hope.
My dad came by. You gotta be kidding me.
Okay. Bum 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 bum. Get wrecked. Oh. Still saw. Okay. I guess the thing saw me anyway. Okay.
That was weird. You, take a look.
On it. For Christ's sake. Hey, come out. There.
Okay. Still good. Good, good, good.
Stupid hot down here today.
Do not turn on the AC. Might be a little warm.
Get you out of here. For anything else? Sedative. I can drop this and then use this.
My dad came by the bank last week. Ooh.
Yeah.
Bum 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 ba-dum bum bum bum. Get wrecked. There we go.
And everything. Afterward, we went to this little diner over on 5th, and he told me the strangest thing. So he's a Freemason.
I'm really sorry, but we've had to section off this area for now. Head of security.
What?
There may have been some tampering going on.
But I need my fingers in there.
Okay. Where's Frank? Over there. You nasty son of a bitch. Oh, you don't, they don't like me. Oh, that's a bit of a shame.
Still hasn't turned up. Oh dear.
Huh?
Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 bum.
I was calm and focused and I mean there's Huh?
You there, bodyguard.
Say what? Help!
They don't like me throwing the micro taser. Okay. And they also don't like the... Oh my god. The outfit. It's a bit of a shame that the outfit is so... just for safety's sake, I'll do this one here.
Stupid hot down here today.
Do not turn on the AC.
Do not turn on the AC. Shotgun.
Gotta be kidding me. We might have a situation.
Okay. Close the door. Bam! Okay, so that's that. Let's take this shit. Yeah, I have a Bartoli. Let's go here. Avoid him.
Yeah, I gave him a tour and everything. Afterward, we went to this little diner over on 5th.
I'm really sorry, but we've had to section off this area for now.
Oh, right. I need the...
Tampering going on.
But I need my fingers in there.
I'm really sorry, but we're ready to calm down.
Eat. Playing with you. You are a...
Bum, 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 bum. Where's Frank? Over there. Excuse me. Frank still doesn't like me.
Yeah, I mean, I was calm and focused and I mean there is a guy in the bathroom looking
we talked?
What? Hey man, don't forget your stuff.
Oh, have we talked to everyone?
There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, yippee-ki-yay. Welcome. Sorry I didn't see you there. I was concentrating on the game. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. Okay. That should be good, right? Yes. What? Last. What? 2 minutes. 3:43. 3:12. Okay. Alright, so what's next? What do we have here? Balloonatic. I don't think I ever played one of his contracts, so 803 ending. Let's see what that's all about. Contracts, look up. What? One 959 809 803. Nope. Can't be found, so maybe by the title. There we go. So what's the typo? 11222 2592 4544. Should be good. Weird. Anyway. Any number 10? Oh, that's sure. Let me hit play on this one. So I have it in my my history, and I will see. I will look up yours. That's on Epic, by the way, because I only play on Epic. Think you already played this one last stream? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Contracts, search. Any number 10. 10, I say. God damn it. Well, that's a bit of a problem. Finding it by that. Oh, over here. Any number 10. Are you Gruber Hans? Is it this one? Because there's no check mark on it. Yes, okay, cool. So I have not done that yet. Who we have? Baburav, Harish Kaur, Ahanda Dayal, Tehas Biswas, and Vivandar. Okay, so they're near the train, I guess. Who the hell is he? So, starting by the train. We'll see. Oh, you meant a Whittleton Creek one. Okay. Because this was also on... and your username on Epic, is it also yippee or is it... So I can see if it's yours. Exit. Okay, let's see then. Let's go back to the search. Game modes, contracts, lookup. Why? Oh, let's search. Gotta do search, man. Any number 10, because I don't think it matters. The Whittleton Creek one. Let's see. But this isn't Whittleton Creek. This is Mumbai. This all says kill order. Any kills, kill order. See, I think the title is just too generic. Any number 10. Can you use quotes to search the entire title? It just comes up with Mumbai. Gruber Hans, yeah. But your Gruber one, Hans Gruber number 10, is in Mumbai, not in Whittleton Creek. So this is you. Okay. Well, I'll do this one then. For now. Yeah, let's go. Maybe the Whittleton Creek one is another number. And it's any, so I can change clothes. There is no shenanigans as far as I can see. Yeah, I can just go ham. Oh, they're on that side, huh? Oh, he's going in here. Oh. How fortunate. Fuck me. I'll go get this dude's outfit. Let's. Oh, he doesn't hear that. Boom, 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 boom. I'll get you now. Okay, so at least I can move around here now. One's up there. That's a bit of an annoyance. I can get up there through... There's a window here somewhere. Let's see.
Serious work, Mom. I can't talk right now.
Okay, and then the leather here. Oh, they will see him. Okay. That's a little bit of an annoyance, but I can lure him to the other side, or lure him inside, maybe. It should be okay. Boom, 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 boom. Whoop. There we go.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Okay. Isn't that from Dexter? Honestly, I have no idea. Expired can of spaghetti. Are you going all the way over there? I wonder if he can see that when he comes back here.
I'm sorry, but water is sour. I barely have enough of my own.
This is not going to go well.
The session is over.
Pom, 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 pom. Oh, I can use the lethal range. So I can leave him up there.
I need to rinse off for a moment, Trina. Yes, Michael. I'll make sure the tea is ready.
Will he see the gun? No, he won't. Oh, I want your outfit. Give me that. Okay. Oh, he still doesn't like me. Where's the other one? Is the other one close? He's above me? What? Oh, below me. Oh, there you are. I was reading the arrows wrong.
All these guys, they used to play cricket themselves.
It's the wrong dude.
Activated.
Okay. He's unbothered. He doesn't give a shit about the radio. I wonder, is she like, is she enforcing against me?
Circuit complete.
Yes, she is. For some reason. Whoa! Oh, they noticed that? Oh, that's annoying. Okay. Oh, I could have thrown the proximity taser. Let's just keep it. Okay. Well, the cleaver hit his head so violently he punched through the window. I guess that's why everybody turned and saw him die. Maybe. You never know with this game. Okay. Surprise, motherfucker! There's a coin here somewhere. Oh, look at that. Alrighty then. That is a camera. And I don't want to deal with the camera right now. Oh, and now I have to... Doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
In exchange, I will take care of the bills for your new one until she's old enough to work for spinning mills. That is my offer, Mr. Hussein. Talk it over with your wife.
That is my offer, Mr. Singh.
I expect your acceptance tonight. Good day.
Good day to you, sir. I say good day.
The session is over. I just need to clean the filth of my...
Oh, no.
I think Cynthia is in order. I will make the arrangement.
Turn around. Give me that. Oh yeah, you don't like me. That's right.
Hey, you don't belong here.
What the?
Fuck me.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
It's a shame that he takes so long to get there. So maybe is there a possibility to snipe him from here? I wonder. I wonder. Boom, 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 boom.
Session is over.
See, that's why I need to get his outfit. Bloop. So then the busboy doesn't bother me. See, now he isn't so much paying attention to me. Proximity taser. Yeah, have a gift. Okay. Let me see. Where am I? Over here, and I need to go over there, and the propane tank was in the inside cart. They just don't give a fuck, right? Ah, I can't get out. Give me that. Gotta be careful of the camera over there. Boom, 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 boom. Privacy, please. I still need to do that challenge, but yeah. Gonna get the propane tank. There we go. Here's the coin. And the knife. Call that a knife? Wasn't this a door? Yeah. Okay. The left one is the closest. Ahana. So that's her.
अच्छा I don't think we'll have more luck with this new foreman. Miss Shah wants to meet him up here for a talk, but he hasn't.
Let's see what your problem is. What's your puzzle? Oh, she's just up in the apartment building?
I'm not an idiot.
Yes, you are. I'm not an idiot. I don't think I've ever been in here. Yeah, yes I have. Let me see. Where are you? Over there. Oh, all the way up.
Maybe he's a traveling salesman or something.
No, I'm a traveling hitman.
Very doubtful. I've been hearing a lot of strange noises coming from his apartment. You always said that you loved it. I'm pretty sure he's doing other things in the business. He's an addict. Like that guy last year. Remember him? The state of after they kicked him out was just terrible. I don't know what, but I'm sure he's up to no good. You know, at one point, I'm pretty sure I saw him handling what looks like some sort of weapon in there. I told the landlord, but he doesn't dare come to the building.
No, he will see. Oh. How are we gonna get her? These things don't explode because they're not highlighted.
That? Excuse me. You left something behind.
Because I don't think there's a lot of there's fake NPCs here, but not real NPCs. So.
What? Sir? Huh?
Goodbye. Okay. Next, in the tower. Oh, that's the painter. Oh. And of course, I cannot snipe him because our big friend Rangadingadang is there. And he is on the construction site. No. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the building. Oh. Pointer is with a guard. Pointer? Oh, the painter. Yeah. Oh, he's also with a guard. Where?
I tried to go up there to spy on these things, but he was... I don't get this viewfinder working. I will miss the shot for sure.
He's over there.
Damn broken viewfinder. If I can't adjust the scope right, I'll never make the shot.
Crap. I thought I had a propane tank in my hand. Guess I dropped it along the way. No, I didn't pick it up again. Okay. I guess we're going in.
I'm sure it's him. My cousin lives in New York.
Okay, so let's get him first, because that gives me the outfit to get... Oh, but I'm allowed in here, I guess. Am I? This outfit? No. Oh, suddenly I have the propane... I do have the propane tank. Okay. Out of the way! Out of the way! Make a hole, people!
What are the odds? There he was. Gregory Arthur.
Oh, he's... Oh, I should have gone through the other side.
You know, the movie's based on real events.
It's about a pirate saving the city of Mumbai from some sort of witch. How is that based on anything real?
Angan told me the other night. He used to run with that. No way. Whatever, man.
Okay. Give me that, give me that, give me that. Too much NPC makes me hate Mumbai as a map. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit crowded, right? Oh, you're in here. Okay. There we go. And now I need to go upstairs. All the way upstairs. Okay. Oh, let me guess. I can't get to him in this outfit. He's one floor above. Oh, but I can.
I know they're still trying to find the right lines for the shoot, but in case they do, we need to be ready with the deck.
You bet. I had to hack the control room.
Pum 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 pum. Can I close this door? No. Oh fuck! I need a. I know you heard that, lady. Get off my case. So maybe I need one of these guys' outfits?
Long time no see. Hey, security guy. Hold up.
Oh my god.
Hey, pay attention, idiot. That's it, asshole. No more Mr. Fucking Nice Guy. Oh, shit.
Fuck you! Fuck you! No, fuck you, you fucking fucker. Hey, Joelis, welcome. Okay. That's a bummer. Oh. That's a keycard entry, right? Replan. She is in my thing, so I can use the, let's see, the balcony pots to put a electric key hack. Okay. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Boom, 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 boom. Okay, well, I guess we have this down by now. It's coming this way. Okay. Bum 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 ba-dum 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 ba-dum. Do I really need the to bring the propane tank all the way with me? I don't think so.
Where did you leave the costume for Dawood Rangan? I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, I took care of it already. We'll have
Okay.
new so I washed it when I came. Miss Shah wants to meet him up here for a talk, but he hasn't even left it off.
Do you like sniper contracts? Well, depends, I guess. If it's like 3-inch snipes, then I don't know if I really like it. Oh, this is where I used my sniper or my propane tank to lure the lady. Oh, and I don't have the. Oh, I'll take this. Oh. Oh, and I can just knock her out, I guess.
This is pissing me off.
Goodbye. Gotta go down. Yeah, I'll if you have a sniper contract, I'll take a look at it. No hurt in trying, right?
I'm sure it's him. My cousin.
Oh.
And he went to a show on Broadway. Got a picture of himself.
Almost forgot my key card. Next level, right? This should be my... Oh. Key card. Okay, cool. What's the use of locks if you can just go in through the window? Okay, so now we gotta go in there. I think I might be better off going through this end.
Yes, sir. As I said, I'm calling from the local
Excuse me?
Excuse me? Well, excuse me, princess.
I'll buy you some lassi if you go and check out what that was. Okay? I hear you.
Oh, now they're just standing here. Oh, that's annoying. Let me see. He was drinking in here. And I don't have that to unlock it. Honk.
Not worth the hassle, man.
Okay. He's gonna come in here to drink. Cool. Do 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 do. There we go. There we go. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. You're fast now? Yeah, because I know where everything is. So it's
Hey there. When are you gonna be done mixing those colors?
Only I could compromise a little. With my... Damn!
I don't know if they are coming in here, so just to be on the safe side, I'll be dumping them in the closet. Because the people here don't like me. Yeah, previous runner was around 11 minutes.
Are you with the security team?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Wrong door! Wrong door! I had everybody! You fucking idiot. Oh boy. Pure pain, yeah. I was rushing in the end, and that's never a good idea. See, I don't even need his outfit anymore, I just go this way. And he's coming this way, so timing wise that's also cool. I'll just have to wait till he turns around. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, he saw me.
Hey! Oh, chutiya samjha kya? Fuck that. Will do. Stop the man.
At least I have the route down exactly. I know what to do now, so... Yeah, and it's a good thing the guy's smoking behind the sewer pipe, so I can get him. So where is he now? Oh, he's coming this way. Okay. So, gotta be careful I'm not too fast, because then the guys walking on that over there will see me. Those guys.
I've got another accident here. For real. Like dead.
Like dead. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. 5 additional years of servitude.
I can see why you're into cricket, but it hasn't even started yet.
Boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. There we go. He's dead. Do I? No, I don't need to go up here. Because I can get to the apartment building from here directly. She doesn't hear that. I need heavier stuff. Hello, lady. Taking flying lessons? Woohoo! Goodbye. Alright, let's get to Rangdown Tower.
Sir. Maybe he's a traveling salesman or something.
Boom, 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 boom. Avoid the NPCs. I could lure one of them into that corner, but yeah. It would probably, maybe be a bit faster than this route because I'm going all the way around.
This area has restricted access.
Yeah. Whatever. Get this. I should have brought poison, perhaps. There is my target. Get bonked. Dude's still in here. Cool. Man, this is awesome timing. Okay. He heard that, but that's okay. Okay. Boom. I forgot. Did you get your key card? That's the thing I forgot, Shrimpy. It's faster just to start over than to go all the way back and go. I'm an idiot. Shrimpy had the right call. I thought of it, then I read chat, and then oh my god, you idiot! Impure pain. This is the purest of the purest. This is contaminated pain. Oh boy. Fuck me. Oh boy. Okay. This is me rushing. I thought I could get in and change before the guys came around the corner, but no. That's just me being an idiot. Loop. Loop. Okay, so wait till they pass, or wait till he is under the underpass, whatever you call it, the walk bridge. The next one. Wait until he's under there, and then go from there. I gotta hurry. Because they're going to start to move now. Okay. This is how people start to speed run, right? Getting frustrated, then they finding a faster route. And a faster route, and they start to do stuff. Don't want to wait for your ass. Okay. Now, I don't need to get up here. I don't have the propane tank, but that's okay. I don't need that anymore. I'll just take this one up so I don't have to shimmy along. Get this. I don't have anything interesting for them right now.
Pissing me off.
I don't have time for you to move where I need you to be. There we go.
Maybe he's a traveling salesman or something.
Yeah, I could go to the edge over there, but then I have to lure the dude in, knock him out, put him away. Well, let's see. No? Oh, normally the dude's over here and he hears that. Fuck. Did I make a mistake here? Okay. That was the key, hitting the wall. Then he comes in here. Because otherwise I have to go all the way around like I did before. And I have a sneaky suspicion this is faster if you don't dally around like I did. Oh, it's the wrong dude anyway. Crap. Yeah, I'm trespassing here. I wonder if it even matters if I go through the elevator shaft. Oh, and I forgot. I forgot the keycard again. Oh my god, I'm an idiot, really? Okay. He should be a bit further along, yes. Why didn't you guys tell me I needed to pick up the keycard? I always blame chat, right? Always blame chat. Chat should be reminding you, yeah, exactly. I blame you guys. For some reason, after I killed the lady, then my mic goes blank, I guess. Okay. Pick up the key card, pick up the key card, pick up the key card, pick up the key card. Is there anything here? No. Dum, 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 dum.
Where did you leave the costume for Tower Drunken?
Oops.
I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, I took care of it already. It was a rush
hour. Okay, so we go up the pipe. Or blame the picklebot. Yeah, yeah, picklebot. Remind me. Oh? Yeah, did I get your attention?
This just keeps happening again.
This just keep happening, yeah. Did you get your wings? Did you drink your Red Bull? Okay, get the key card. Idiot. There we go. Keycard acquired. There we go. Thank you, Shrimpy. Thank you.
I'm sure it's him.
I'm sure it's him. Taxi, taxi, let's go, sir. Yeah, I wonder if I'm starting to wonder if I need the outfit at all. Bonk.
Wonder what that was.
Yeah, what was that? Weird, right? Do I have something? I have something, yes.
What? Curious.
Command, someone just threw something.
If I don't finish it, Drunken will kill me. If I do, the artistic community will be dead to me.
Okay. At least they like me. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's go down again. I think this is the fastest way. Why am I in a hostile area? Open. I don't have coins. Crap. So, where is my best exit? Over there. Wait, where's the exit? Is there only one exit? No. Oh, I still need to kill somebody. Who do I need to kill? Oh, right. Our poison boy. Right. Or drink boy. Yeah. He's still in there. Stay in there, please. Good. Stay right here, son.
Okay. Quiet, Chodu.
Yeah, doesn't really matter. It's about a pirate saving the city of Mumbai. Was so tempted to blow that up. Still have a target left, yeah. I thought, why isn't the exit showing up? I totally forgot about the guy in the container. Oh well, it worked out anyway. First one I failed, I still had to kill the painter and I was at 11 minutes. Now just under 7. Where is Zandvoort? Zandvoort is in the north of my country. Thank you. Number 1 on the friends. Let's see. 5 minutes. 6:55. I take that. Manga in 8. Put jazz. Nice. It's the winning done finally, exactly. So let's see. New maps. Zandvoort. Well, it's not really... wait, I was confused with Assen. Yeah. But I can show you... Whoop, whoop. There, and then this down, and I can... Let me see, I have a window capture. And that is Chrome. There we go. Okay, so this is the Netherlands, like this outline. Yeah, you can see my mouse, right? So, and then Zandvoort is right over here, somewhere. So it's here. So this is the circuit, racing circuit. So yeah, if you zoom out, it's yeah, halfway. I in my mind I was thinking of Asse, and Asse is over here, but yeah, it's over here. Zandvoort close to you. Well, I am in this region over here, so it's about. I think this is just 2 hours. This is about an hour's drive, so an hour and a half away. Basically. Like bike racing more than F1? Yeah, yeah, me too. Usually there's more dynamic in motorbikes. There's more variation, more attacks. I don't know. I don't follow F1 really these days. But back in the day with Schumacher, then I would catch the occasional race, and there was far less fighting for places. And I always thought the motorcycle races were far more engaging. Aston GP was 2 to 3 months ago. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't really watch sports. Basically, I sometimes look at the Formula 1 results, but motorcycle races, it's been so long since I've seen a race. So yeah, it's been it's always Verstappen winning. Yeah, these days. Well, this year he doesn't always win because his car isn't that good, from what I understand. So it's other people have been winning too. So he doesn't like run away from the pack as he did before, because before he had a really good car. Yeah, he's also a very good driver, but yeah. But now that his car is basically shit, he's not winning as much. But yeah, but despite his car being not good, he is still performing pretty good. So yeah. Let's see. Did you? You had this one. Let me see. Backwards. So game modes. We've fired up another one. So contract out. Do re mi fa sol. Let's scroll down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, oh, this is any. Oh, this is the other one, any. But it's do re mi fa sol. Okay. Dominos Miraculum Familius Planetarium Solis. Okay. Interesting. So there. I think he is the one that starts out or is in the garage and goes down to the cave eventually. That's the delivery boy. He is in the sewers. So let's see. What would be wise to start? What would be wise to start here? Let's go. Let's go. Let's assess the situation and go from there. DeSantis. Okay. Lay of the land. One is straight below me on... Oh yeah, he's in the... got that right. Okay. I gotta get down there quick. Where's the way down? I'm always getting lost in this place. There he is. Let's take... Oh, fucker. He's already gone. And he's already gone. Okay, so we'll have to wait till he comes back. Now, then we have this dude.
What?
Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Don't know if anybody passes by, but yeah, let's just put you in here. Okay. Who's next? Oh, he's upstairs. Level 7. Oh. All the way up there. Crap. Crap, crap, crap. Oh, that's a puddle. Wait, isn't there a... If I go here... I can go up. And I'm there. Oh, but he doesn't like me. But here's a door. Guess this was the door I was looking for. He's up there, so... Did you play the politician? The elusive target? Yeah, I've done a video on her. I haven't played her this round yet. But yeah, I just get her out of the way and get it over with usually.
Everything quiet on your front?
Yeah, everything quiet's on the Western Front. Holy shit, how the hell did I survive those whooshes? Barbara, yeah. Exactly. Oh, it's her. It's him. Okay.
Caruso. Command. Thought I heard something. Checking it out. Over. Hey, anyone there?
Oh, I could pick up a propane tank while I'm here. Okay. Okay, who's next? You're... Oh, him. Yeah, okay. Is that the last one? Sometimes the picture-in-picture camera takes way too long. Oh, I've got another one. Oh, the delivery boy. Okay. So... Oh, there's a propane tank. Where is he? does he come up again? Question. Does he come back to the garage? The garage. Depending on which neck of the woods you are in. Yeah, that's the with the body double, yes. I don't know why I want to take two. I can't take two unless I keep throwing them. Would like for our little professor to come back again. There was a dead rat under my bunk this morning. Yeah. Wonder if it's use the lamp explosion? Yeah, I usually do that too. Just go in there, sneak a shot at the lamp, get out of there, and when she smokes, she kabooms. Bum 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 bum. Oh, is he on his way back? No, he's going down. Okay, well. Bum 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 bum. So is he going into the house? Yeah, exactly. Oh, right, he doesn't like me.
What the hell is that? Figures.
Figures. Okay. It might be faster if I start anyway in the ICA safe house, because then I can get the professor before he moves down. Okay. Oh, and he doesn't like me. Okay. Why?
No way.
Oh, fuck me. Fuck. I hate doing this. Yeah, starting in safe house is definitely faster. Or I should have alternatively come down here. Oh well. Oh, he's down there. Which way does he go? I still don't know how to do the pistol thing with jump down. No!
Wait a minute. Hello? Command, we got a situation.
Nothing out here. Out.
Crap. Crap, 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 crap.
Nice to see you. Keep walking.
Oh, and I'm caught on camera. Fuckers.
Okay, so walk me through this.
Right. Well, this is the control panel for the air purification system. We're at a critical stage of
Oh, and now he goes back.
potentially doused in chemicals.
Crap. I cannot with this game anymore. That's just... Forget about the propane. I'm just gonna shoot him in the head. Pom 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 pom. What do I have? I'm just gonna shoot him. Oh, I could have used the propane tank for him, but oh well. Do, 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 do. Okay. Is the camera box on it? Yeah, I figured it out. GG's, yeah, it's so slow. So, like, if we start over here, main square. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass to get in there. Then, oh, it could. Let's see. Hey, Justien, welcome. Happy Friday to you. So, let's see. I should be able to get in because the professor's still there. Let's see if we can't make it. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Emotely.
You gotta get swifty.
Welcome,
You gotta
welcome.
Get swifty in here. It's time to get swifty.
Gotta be quick. There we go. Pom 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 pom. Surprise. Get you out of the way. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Problem now is, oh, if I take this, I can probably move around also. So now I gotta go upstairs for this guy. Yeah. That's the easy way up, I guess. Just here. See, was there a camera right here? No, right? No. Oh, but the butler doesn't like me. Right. Let's see, where is he? Oh, he's up there. Oh, right. He's the one on the roof. So... let's see, there is a thing here. Just so that we are clear about this. I'm trespassing here? Let's see. Oh, there was no shenanigans. Good. Okay, so probably just knock one out and just shoot the other one.
This is impossible. Just look for a combination. Shit.
Get his outfit. So it's easy to get out of here. Yeah. Okay, now we go down. No, don't need to go down any further. Further. Boom. Gotta watch out for the camera right over there, but that's not a real problem. Hug the block. Oh, it's yellow shirt.
Caruso, you know where it is. What? Big Mac, whoa. Now why would someone throw stuff?
There we go. So that's a lot quicker. And I got I ran over the cyclist. You originally conceived this contract as a sniper one? Well, yeah, I could do it with 1-inch snipes. Nice work, thank you. There we go. Still number 2. What the hell? Phoenix, 146. Holy hell. Oh. Leave you down. You're the best around. So did you snipe them all to get this this time? Because I guess you can snipe. How the hell do you snipe the professor? From the towers, I guess. Did you start in the town square tower and snipe the professor down there? But then, how do you get the guy? Snipe from the town square, yeah, from the square tower, yeah. Then still the others. Well done. Well done. Very nice. I got 420 though. That's the next best thing after 47, right? Lapgeek is smoking at the garage door. Yeah. That's where I got him, of course. And then the dude in the hallway that's around the corner, you can snipe him. So that's either you have to go down there or he has to show up somewhere somehow. And then there's the one on the he's with his buddy. Weird. Okay. You have your ways, I guess. Okay, contracts. I was my history. I had one in my history. This one, bench to 12. No. Hey, Dark Matter, welcome. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. Hi there, family. Hi there, family. Welcome. Happy Friday, and happy Friday to you too, Dark. Let's see. Or did I? Oh, I already. Whispers in a Manor. Oh, that's my own one. Is this my history? What? Yeah. I thought I did one that I failed. What the hell was? What's this problem again? Oh, I was working on this last time. Yeah. No. I don't have that much time left, so yeah, I'm not gonna do that right now. Let's see. Do we have? I was talking about that broker contract earlier that you already played. You really hate Fridays? Well, sure, Shardy. You may. Otherwise, I would just take one from the Discord and from the manga Discord. Well, you really hate Fridays. I hope I can alleviate that if you're here watching me. I hope that a little bit shaves off the edges. Let's see. Poisonous Love 2. Hello, oh, Dubai. Okay. Oh, 3 minutes. Let's see. Injected poison. Okay. Somehow I already have 2 injected poisons. Great. Distraction. Any disguise. Is she the one that's keeping this dude at bay? Oh. Okay. So I am going to start here. Because I have a good feeling who these two are. My Friday morning. Dark doesn't stream Friday morning, so I get a little lost. You are definitely helping Love's routine. Well, thank you. And for me, it's the afternoon. It's almost, yeah, it's 5:10 in the afternoon. Yeah, see, it's these two. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's just figure out this.
It's just a precaution.
I've been personally invited by the Royal Highness Omar Al-Ghazali. I should have clearance. The name is Zaina Kazim. Sir, I understand. Standard procedure. This is ridiculous.
Well, that's how
Hmm?
Nice.
What would this planet look like if all of us threw shit around like that?
That's not the best thing. Okay. So, oh no, I wanted to replan. Replan. Okay, so I can either... No, I can't. Unless I smuggle an item into this area, which I can't. So let's take this and make that a seeker. Let's see how that works.
It's just a precaution.
I've been personally invited by the Royal Highness Omar Al-Ghazali. I should have clearance. The name is Zaina. Anyway, I'm about to get my right forward.
No, you don't! Drop the fire!
Oh. You saw that, did you? Oh, that's a bit of a shame. Okay. Let's get this. Here. You fuck off, please.
You gotta be kidding me. Figures.
I don't feel great.
That looks serious. Huh? Hey, you okay? Do you need help?
Where do you go? Where do you go? My lovely... Oh, you're going in here?
I could get used to a gig like this.
Oh, crap. I've got, yeah, the freaking... Where's our other friend gone? Over there. Boop.
Okay.
Do, 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 do.
Duh. Winning.
Do, 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 do. You have a new what? A new... There we go. Minute 15 to spare. Good, good, good. Dark matter, getting better. Oh, are you an epic? Yes, I am an epic, Shrimpy. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, I didn't see that question before. See, my Friday morning is... Hope you're getting better. A new one? What do you have new, Shrimpy? Wheelchair? Nice. I beat you. Ah, he has 47. Bah, bug. They both have 147. Okay. Okay, I see how it is. But yeah, on my own contract, I did for the 3 or 4 contracts I did. I have 547 on that one. Oh, shingles. Ooh, okay. That's not good. But yeah, it's treatable, so that's... let's see, I have time. Let's see. Well, I hope it clears up pretty soon. And my buddy had it once, I think, if singles is what I think it is. Gordeloos, I guess. It's sabotage by Shrimpy. Okay. The local rival gang wants you to sabotage Delgarda's drug smuggling operation by taking out some of its key men. They have managed to sneak you in as a member of the submarine crew. The rest is up to you. Okay, so that means submarine crew. Bloop. I get that. Oh yeah, because I need to be that. Good, good, good. Fiber wire, consume poison, fire. Electrocution, explosion. Oh my god. So, fiber wire. Melee. Fibre. Consumed poison. We're filling up my slots, right? Poisons. Lethal poison. Fire, some electrocution and explosion. I can maybe pull that off. Do not change your starting disguise. Okay, let's try and figure this out. Let's try. Do 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 do. We're done loading yet. Okay, you are fiber wire, okay. Fiber wire.
Yeah!
Hey, thank you.
Two cheered. 100 bitties. Thank you, heart.
Thank you so much, Dark Matter, for the 100 biddies. It was really appreciated. Okay, put that away. Turn that off. Okay. Thank you so much, man. Okay, you are electrocution. Okay. I'm stomping around in water here. And I don't have a thing on me, so... Your explosion. See an opportunity for that over there. Electrocution. Is there a car battery down here somewhere?
I'm not sure I know who you are. Hey, do you know this pendejo? Don't throw that at me. Take him down. Take him down. Yeah. Let's go meet your maker. What's going on over there? You hearing me?
Okay. Is there a car battery down there somewhere? Or do I need to bring something? Let's see if I can smuggle something in here. Hidden stash in the caves. I think that's the closest one. Tools. Micro taser. Okay. Well, it's a safety one, so I can just give him one. Proximity taser. Okay. Just gotta check the minimap where it is, because I hope it is where I think it is. You brought a micro taser? Okay. Okay. There's an oil drum there, so that's my burning. And there's also oil drums over there, so... Terminado, exactly. You're terminated, fucker. Okay, so... You are... This is the electrocution dude, right? Oh, right. I got a... Yeah, smuggle spot is to my left. Yeah. Hello? Give me that. Okay. Oh, there's a coin in there too, right?
Hey. Are you there, Central? Some imbecile is throwing stuff around. I don't know why.
I found a weapon. I know it's crazy, but it was just lying around.
Okay, cool. Tranquilo. Jesucristo. What is your problem? Explosion. Okay. So where is... Oh, he's in the crew quarters. Consumed poison. And he is a fire accident to my left.
Long way in medical science today.
Oh, you're an explosion accident. Okay. It's ether. No. Okay, come on. Taking the long way around, I see. Okay. Let's chill over here for a bit. Okay, so to my left is the guy that needs to consume poison. That's him. Question now is, I don't know where he goes, so...
I just got here. Nothing to report.
Distractions. Can never have enough cocaine bricks on you, right? Oh, if I pick up the keycard, I'm busted. Oh, that's why they went all apeshit on me the last time. Okay, let's see. So, where does he eat or drink? That's the question. Where does he come from anyway? Does he come from up here? Oh, oh, you're the fire one. Okay. I don't like your face. Come on, dude. Follow me.
Why are you not listening, you moron?
I know I'm busted, but I need to see how this works out. Oh, here's the drum for the fire.
What was that? Was that on purpose?
On purpose? No, it's on dolphin.
I'm not sure I've seen
Yeah, okay. So now all I need to do is figure out what he drinks or eats. So he's over here. Oh, he's one of these dudes. Oh, okay. Got it. On dolphin, yeah. I would have done them today. Looking forward to seeing them. Ah, new contracts. All right, now. Oh, there's a coin here.
Okay, there we go. Surprise, motherfucker.
Okay, so I gotta get my thing that's over here. Fuck. I got stuck on the door and he saw me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoop. Go get the coin. I don't know if I'll need it, but yeah.
Why do I gotta spend my day doing bitch work?
There we go. Whoop. What's in the box? Okay, now we go here. Who's... Early electrocution, okay.
Huh? What's that doing here?
What the heck was that? What?
Okay.
Can you hear me? I think you've been in some kind of accident.
Oh. Oh, give me a second, guys. There's somebody at the door. And it's probably the neighbor.
Zou het wezen, maar goed, dat lukte niet. Helaas, ja, dat zei ik, want we hebben wel nog wat. Ja, toch?
Okay, well, that was the neighbor. She came to fetch her stuff. Oh, he's phoning. If I kill this, he comes here and I blow that up. Does that kill him? I'm afraid it will knock him out.
Hey.
Guess we'll have to see. Oh, they just dropped the body here. Nope. I think it's better to get the... no. I can distract the guy first. Plans are brewing. Should see the 4 episodes posted on my YouTube where a couple were decent. Whoop. There we go. Oh, get this. I don't know if I'll need it, but it might be handy dandy to get somebody off my chest, of my back. Oh, crap. Are you relaxed enough? Get over here. No. Ah, fuck. Fuck.
Someone killed here? That's just terrible. I need a drink. Where's the bar?
I need a drink. Okay, dude. Oh. Okay, pop, plop, plop. He's coming over. He's coming over. Do 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 do. Boom. There we go. Over there. Yeah. Okay, so we have one over there, one over there. Let's see. So I only need the other two, right? So one is the one is consumed poison, and the other is fire accident. Alright, let me. I'm a bit blocked in here.
Got nothing here. Search the place. We have to find this guy. Yeah.
Again. They. Every guy I have to kill is enforcing against this outfit. So that's a bit of a thing. Okay, these guys have calmed down. He will take his poison shortly. Oh, and now I have to deal with these guys. Okay. So I guess I'll have to go here. Then I can go up there, I guess. How the hell am... Oh my god.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
You gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh boy. So close.
Somebody drag me out onto the street and shoot me.
Okay. Oh, no, I was wrong. That guy is not enforcing against me. But this guy is.
I don't like the look.
Crap. I was stuck. Sometimes the thing just doesn't want to move. I mean, it gets stuck on a pebble or something, and then it all goes to hell. It all goes to hell. To hell. Okay. Get this. Wait around for the carrot. Makes sense doing it first since he is an enforcer. Okay. Okay. Okay, hopefully dude over here doesn't see the guy being electrocuted. Right.
What was that?
Okay. He goes out there. Can you calm down, sir? Because I need to, like, do this.
I'm not sure I know who you are.
Oh dear God. Zes uur eten.
How unfortunate. That will affect your final payment.
So this will have to be my last try.
Just redeemed. How unfortunate.
Okay.
Maldito. Why do I gotta spend my day doing bitch work? Okay, you stay here. I'll take a look.
Okay.
Step back. Let me deal with this, okay?
That's the wrong target. Because it took me too long. There's few precious extra seconds. Okay, come on. By God. Okay, so... Puta madre. Actually, I probably don't care if if this... Precious seconds. Okay. He just put down his drink. Good.
Hello there.
Hey, no.
Okay, vean, parcero. I'll take it from here, huh?
Good. That's the right one. Good. Okay. Why are you coming here? I know there was a big boom, but no. No.
Nothing here. Oh, Dios.
Crap.
No, it looks like an accident.
Okay.
Hey, you break it, you buy it.
What? Man, we got ourselves an accident here. You read me? Over.
Waiting till I can get past because I don't want to go up in flames again. Okay. Oh, and now I'm trespassing. Okay. Don't want to deal with that.
Come in, Command. I got you. I'm shutting down this freak show.
Shutting down this freak show. Okay. Let's see, what exit is that? I have an exit right over there. Bum 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 bum.
When was the last time you saw anyone?
That is the bus stop. Yes! Done! Alright. Cool. How did we do? Half the time. Nice. I'll take it. Alright, well, that is going to have to be it for today, guys. I gotta start dinner. So, thank you guys for hanging out. This is my stuff. Sorry, Phoenix. Yeah, I really have to start dinner. It's 5:45. My wife is home in like 15 minutes. I gotta start making dinner. So, yeah, let's see. This one. And then, let's see. Is Penny still alive? No. Manga is live. What the hell is he doing at this hour? Yeah, he's testing.
Scene, and you guys let me know if the volume on that is good, if it's good.
Shall we go over to Manga? He is playing, well, he's testing. Let's not do that. I will shift you over to, because he's just setting up a stream the last time. So, yeah, Frody. Let's see, ICA, CJ. Well, we can, yeah. Let's just take Red again. Of course, it's Murder Friday for her too, so she's playing Freelancer. Where is my stuff over here? So let's go share the love. Oh, my thing is a bit slow. Why are you being so difficult? My okay, then here maybe. Cool. Okay. Anyway, I don't think I can stream this after this weekend. But anyway, if I do, I will tweet out on X. And if not, I will see you guys next Friday. Hope to see you then. And maybe there's some new stuff out then. Yeah, Monday is new featured contract, so there should be new stuff out. Anyway, thanks again, and I will see you guys next time. Say hi to Red, and see you guys later. Bye now.